It is disrespectfully hot in my room. But we're gonna get through this. Hey y'all, how y'all been? It's been a long time since I made a YouTube video. Yeah, it's been like a really long time. I feel like for me, I didn't want to create more videos just for the sake of creating videos. I'm incredibly intentional. I'm a super intentional person. So for me, it's like if I'm doing something, it has to be with a purpose, and I have to constantly check myself and make sure that I'm doing things with intention, because I know things that are being done without intention will not last. Don't mind me, I'm just sweaty as fuck. But yeah, I feel like I have to do things with intention, because if I do things without intention, it will not last, and that's kind of a waste of my fucking time. So I had to take a break. I had to slow down on YouTube for a little bit. Also because when I was doing YouTube earlier in the year, it was when I was still in school. I was doing my last semester of school at Clayton State University as a film production major. I just graduated in May. And I just didn't like the feeling of like trying to balance school and YouTube while I was in a semester that I was already dragging my feet through. And I didn't want to put myself in the position to slack off on school so much to the point where like I didn't graduate, because I knew the way I was feeling that was possible. So I took a break because I was like, it's time to take a break. Like, it's just time to slow down. Let me just slow down. Let me not just make a video for the sake of making a video. Let me slow down and focus on school right now, and then I'll get back to it in the summer. And now it's September. So yeah, that's how that went. So yeah, I took a break, but the break ended up being a lot longer than I initially planned. I thought it was going to be like, oh, I'll start posting back in June or July sometime. I didn't think it would be this long. And I noticed for me, the longer I go without posting for YouTube, the longer I go without it, the harder it gets to post, because I get more and more in my head about it, and I get more and more like finicky about it. I get like a lot more like just like anal about it, and worrying about little details that are not that important, and worrying about all these other things that I'm not worried about when I'm constantly in the flow of doing YouTube. I feel like it's like if you're like to work out on a regular basis, but then like you take like a long break from working out, it's kind of like when you get back into it, you're a beginner again, because you're used to the flow of, you're used to not working out now. So you have to kind of retrain yourself and give yourself that muscle memory to get back into the flow of it. So I'm saying all that to say, I came on this video to get myself back into YouTube, and also to kind of break through like the mental gymnastics I was putting myself through when it comes to YouTube. I can be super anal and like overthink way more than what is good for me when it comes to YouTube, because I care and I love YouTube and I love doing these videos. It's so much fun. But I can be super anal about it sometimes, and I can really get in my head about it. So I just decided like, maybe I should just do what I did for my first YouTube video. My very first YouTube video, I remember it clear as day. I was back home from Clayton State, living with my parents back home from Clayton State. And I kept having this idea, like I had always wanted to start a YouTube channel ever since I was in middle school. But when I got to college, specifically Clayton State, is where like it really started to bug me. I was like, I gotta do it, I gotta do it, I gotta do it. And I remember just wanting my first video to be perfect, wanting it to be like this really cool introduction, wanting it to be just like super pretty and aesthetically pleasing and this, that, and the other. But I realized I just didn't have the tools to make it that yet. I didn't have a camera. I only had my phone. I didn't have a whole bunch of lights like how y'all see here. I didn't have this. I didn't live in this like room that was like a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Like I lived at like my old house, which was much more not run down, but it wasn't as cute. It wasn't as much of a vibe, you know? I just didn't have the tools to like make things look the way I knew I could make them look. And that was stopping me for a long time. It stopped me from making a video for a minute, until one day I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna throw this phone on a tripod and just record and just post it. Fuck it. Because it was bothering me so bad, because I knew for the longest time I wanted to make a YouTube channel. I knew for the longest time I wanted to create video content, and I wanted to be a director, and I knew that I wanted to like create amazing visuals and things of the other. But I was just so in my head about it, thinking way too much instead of doing. I still struggle with that. So I put my phone on that tripod and I recorded a video that was just like, hey, this is my first YouTube video. I am recording this for the sake of getting it out the way. I need to record something to make sure that I do it, because if I don't record anything, it's just not gonna happen. I would rather it be bad or not that good, but still have something, than not do it at all. So yeah, this is my first YouTube video. That was essentially the premise of my first video. And that helped me get the ball rolling to make more videos, and to make more, and to make more. And now I feel like I'm in that same space. This is not my first video, but it is a break-in, you could say, an entry, a way you could say, back into YouTube. This video is not perfect by any means. The lighting could be better. I could do different stuff with my camera settings. Like, there are plenty of things that can make this video better, but I'm really trying to let go of perfection, and I'm really trying to let go of the feeling that things have to be perfect the first time, especially because I think like as an artist, I have like a lot of visions for what I want my art to look like, and I know I can create it, but that's probably just not what it's gonna look like the first time around. Like, that's probably just not going to happen. I still have to like figure out how to make my vision come to life as time goes on. It's not something that is so like matter of fact, like, oh, just with like a wave of the wand, like I have it figured out. It doesn't work like that. And I'm like beginning to accept that more and more, that it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't it's a process. Being an artist is a process. Being a creator is a process. Being someone who like wants to bring visions that they have in their mind to life is a process. And you're gonna have some prototypes, you know. You're gonna have some prototype version 1 and version 2. You're gonna have some beginning parts that just aren't perfect yet. They're not gonna be what you imagined them to be in your mind, but it's okay. That's part of it. When really when you sit down and accept the fact that things are not going to be perfect, that's where it starts to get fun. That's where it starts to get fun, because then you can focus on, instead of just the end result being exactly the way you've imagined it, you can focus on the growth. You can focus on the experiences. You can focus on what you've learned. You can focus on how you feel. You can focus on what worked and what didn't work. You can focus on how you like to create. Like, when you allow yourself to not be perfect, it actually gets kind of fun, because now you're taking in all this information about how you like to create, and why this project spoke to you, but this one didn't really speak to you, and why you like to work at this time of day, not this time of day. Like, you start to like explore when you open yourself up to the fact that shit don't gotta be perfect all the time. And yeah, it don't gotta be perfect all the time. Like, it's sometimes things are just not going to be the way you want them to be, and it's all right. Like, it's going to be fine. This is me talking to you. This is also me talking to myself. Things don't have to be perfect, girl. Relax. Oh, I'm sweating like a dog. It is so, y'all, it is disrespectfully hot outside. I don't know why the sun is doing what it's doing, but the air, especially where I'm in Georgia, it's humid. It's not like out west where it's like dry air. It's like, no, the air is like wet and sticky. It's But yeah, this feels good. It feels good to be back on the camera again. I really do love to make YouTube videos. I really do love to talk. I really do love to express myself. Like, ooh, I miss doing this. I really do. Like, I love expressing myself, yo. Like, just talking, just having the type of conversations that I want to have, having the type of conversations that fuel me and inspire me and that like light a fire under my ass. Like it just, something about it just feels just so refreshing. So yeah, this felt good to do. Let me think. Do I have anything else I want to say right now? I feel like I said plenty. I feel like this is a good intro back. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. I do have plenty I want to talk about, but I'm gonna save it for future videos. I have a lot of new experiences I want to talk about, a lot of new lessons that I've learned about myself, a lot of new energy, a lot of new motion, a lot of new ideas and feelings and growth. I've grown a lot within this year. There's a lot of things that I am more attuned to now that I wasn't before earlier in the year. And I guess that's one thing I will say about like giving YouTube a break that has been nice is like I actually have something to talk about now, you know, versus just like talking to talk, just talking for the sake of dropping an episode every week. It's nice that it's like, no, I actually went through a lot of growth in the time that I've been away from YouTube. I've actually experienced a lot. I've went through a lot of different situations. I've come to terms with a lot of different things. So now it's like I have new information to tell you. I have new information to relay to you. I have new things to talk about, you know? So yeah, stay tuned for more. This has been a Life Lessons with Zen episode, and thank y'all for rocking with me per usual. Bye. Ding.